There really is a hidden move that so many golfers are missing. I'm going to show you the fastest way to improve your ball striking and finally feel what the great players are really doing. So guys, let's look at an easier way, a more effective way to move through the golf ball here. Now, if I move through the golf ball, if I move through and I keep my shoulders steep, if I keep my head out, it keeps my legs back. It keeps me in the shot, right? You can see that move there. Now, if I pull my head back, it levels my shoulders. This goes out and we're turning this way, right? So the positioning of your head will help your shoulders keep your legs back. I spent a full week with Peter Cowan a few years ago and just drilled him about the swing for the entire week. And he just kept reverting back to saying that the shoulders are the motor of the swing, get it right, and it just sets off a huge chain reaction on stuff you don't have to think about. And we're going to have a look now at a couple of awesome drills and feels here to take your ball striking to a different level, to move through the ball like the great players are really doing. So let's talk feel here. Now, I know everybody at home doesn't have training aids perhaps like this, but we can get a little bit inventive. What I've done is I've got the swim noodle here attached to a microphone stand, and I put it pretty close to my hands here so it prevents this movement up. Because if you can keep your hands down closer to that original shaft plane where you started and your butt back, it makes the release so much easier. Now, if you want to hit the ball better immediately, this is one of the fastest ways to do it. And here's what it is. So many of the world's best ball strikers have this ability to land back where they started from, or what we call landing back on the original shaft plane, right? So many of these players. I've got a couple of little feels here to get you closer down to this original shaft plane. Amateur golfers, 9 out of 10. And we're seeing it with the high shaft coming in, standing up, losing angles, hips moving forwards, and the head. And look at the best players. Where are they? They've got this like computer chip in their brain. They're landing back down, really close, right back where they started at. And there's a couple of basic feels, basic little tricks here I'm going to show you to get down where these great players are and just hit the ball so much more consistently. So you can get your alignment rod, your alignment stick, your tour stick, and jam it into the ground and just position it maybe a fist width away here from your hands and get a feel from that, right? Because we're after some feels. Now that's a 90-degree angle, right? There's your 90, there's your 0. So it goes like 80, 70, 60, right into 45. That's a 90-degree angle. That's 45. Now what I want you guys to get a feeling of is this left hip going at a 45-degree angle. So I want it to go over into this corner. So when you get this, draw this back and get some depth in your pivot, get a bit of a head start, get this back, and then we can keep it back. But I want to get this left hip over at 45 degrees. I still want some lateral shift. Right? I want some lateral, but I want to push the hip over into that corner. It's a great little swing thought at a 45-degree angle. Let's have a look at this. This is a great way to get a feel here. You can do practice swings, just get something behind yourself where you can feel your buttock touching something. And I just like to make lots of little moves here, little practice swings. So I like to get this right hip deep and back behind me. And then I like to keep this left hip nice and deep through the golf ball. Now at the end of your swing, your hips, they're probably just separate a little bit from your training aid. But the idea is to get this left hip 45 degrees out that way, and we're keeping the head down and almost keeping the head out. Like it's almost like we got to get a little bit smaller, right? If I'm getting taller, right? If I'm getting bigger, that's what early extension is. We're extending too early. We extend, but we extend later on in the swing. And by capturing little practice swings, little training aids and feels, you can get an idea of where everything is, hips deep, get a head start, this left hip 45 degrees out into that corner, and that way we can move much more freely and effectively through the golf ball. Get inventive to get these feels in your swing, to get your body moving closer to what the great players are really doing.
Know how to stay down and absolutely rip it. I love this move. I practice this all the time. Have a look at the right hip. Have a look at the right leg. How he draws it back. And he's getting smaller, isn't he? Seen that? The great man, Ben Hogan. And this takes so much pressure off your joints. Getting the legs to move like this. This is what we call symmetrical knee work. And it's creating what we call a little bit of compression in your pivot. Right, drawing the right hip back and the right leg back. Some do it differently. Anthony Kim, what a story, what a ball striker. You're going to do a video on him coming up next week. But he still gets the movement down without doing a whole bunch in his hips. Now, for senior players, I think it's better to do it like what Hogan's doing there. And, I mean, we see it with just about everyone. 1 inch down is the PGA average on the way back. So they're all getting a little bit smaller. And in impact, they're all a little bit further down. Look at couples here. Look at the footwork. My God, what a swing. And looking at this hip, once you get the depth, a little bit of a head start, then we can get that hip over. Look at the number, 45 degrees, getting it over into that corner. Guys, get a head start on the way back. Makes ball striking so much easier.
So I love this drill. Grab your driver, stick your left hand on top. Now I want this left pocket to work and pull over towards 45 degrees. Now at the same time when you do this, I want to keep your right foot on the ground for a little bit longer. Like for you guys, you can still get this right knee to get really in, but don't have the right foot come up too early. It's really a bit of a killer and makes people come out of the shot. You want this right thigh to stay into the left. For a lot of people, I get a feeling, my personal feeling is my foot sort of keeps and rolls down on the side. This is when I really hit the ball the best. When I really don't hit it good, I'm up in that direction. It pulls me off the shot. This feel here, the left hip goes back this way. Keep the right foot on the ground. And the idea with the left hand on top is going to keep you out and over the ball. So you want to have this left hip going this way, but you want water dripping out your ear, right? Your left hip's going this way, but water's dripping out your ear. Now you've got a little bit of neck tilt, right? There's your viewing room. You don't look at the ball like that. You look at the ball like that, right? Your right eye's lower than the left. Your right ear's lower than the left. That's like an indicator. That's why the finish position is just so important, because it shows where you are, where you've been, right? If you finish like this way, there's no way that you're in the shot. So great drill, hand on top, force that left pocket back into the 45-degree area. You can almost pull those legs back sometimes. We see so many players pulling these legs back, and they're almost creating that V position through the golf ball, pulling these legs back. Great way to get a feel of getting those legs underneath you, keeping this right thigh moving into the left. It's almost like you can feel like this right knee moves under the left here and getting this depth, head out, water dripping, left pocket back. A couple of great visual pictures there to help everyone move through the ball much more effectively.
I think it's absolutely fascinating these days with the software that we have to analyze a golf swing. Like this is sent from a mobile phone, a cell phone, right? And you can get in there and see absolutely everything, see where things are working, where they're not working. And this is something I'm helping like literally hundreds and hundreds of people around the world. And I can be a coach, guys. Send your swing through to me, 4 swings, say 2 drivers, 2 7-irons. I'll analyze your swing. You get a link, send through. It's the same software as this, goes for around 20, 25 minutes. I'll give you the exact drills, the exact information that you need to improve your golf, specializing in seniors, helping tour pros, amateurs, everybody. Reach out to me at WorldClassGolf.com.
Voted Best Swing Analysis and Best Online Instruction by several independent surveys. World Class Golf Instruction is transforming thousands of golfers at every skill level. Do not miss out. This video platform has over 1,400 videos and 85 separate masterclass series. The most structured and detailed video platform ever created. Improving golfers on average between 4 and 11 shots. Join the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction. This is golf instruction that you've never seen before. The proven PGA corridors, factual evidence-based material. Unleash your true potential with the cutting-edge swing analysis technology. Experience the thrill of progress with the state-of-the-art practice programs and specialized golf fitness plans. Best information available.